Right now, Local 3 News begins with your forecast first.
Hi, I'm meteorologist Tom Kippen. A much needed dry radar picture currently across upper Michigan. Temperatures not too bad either with lower humidity levels. We have temperatures in the 70s, a little bit cooler though as you get closer to Lake Superior. Temperatures tonight with a few clouds passing on by will be mainly in the 50s, but a few spots possibly could drop into the 40s. From Storm Team 3, that's your forecast first. Local 3 News starts now.
Tonight on Local 3 News, the devastation after a major flash flood event in Houghton County. Stay tuned for the details. Also ahead for you tonight, the weather that created this disaster and the process ahead to repair and rebuild roads in the Copper Country. Plus, a senior housing project being proposed in Delta County. Those stories and more ahead tonight on Local 3 News.
From WJMN TV, Marquette, Escanaba, this is Local 3 News at 6.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight for Local 3 News in HD. I'm Cynthia Thompson. It is being classified as one of the most severe storms in Upper Michigan history. After a heavy storm this weekend, the Copper Country is left with incredible damage today. Local 3's Molly Hollebeek joins us now from Houghton with more. Molly.
Now I'm standing in what used to be the Taco Bell drive-thru, which is some of the worst devastation in the area. The Taco Bell lined a small ravine, but if you take a look, it's certainly not the case anymore. Water completely washed out this entire area, taking down the sides of businesses, a car wash, Copper Country Insurance Agency, and this enormous Taco Bell drive-thru sign with it, washing over this entire parking lot, spilling onto the next roadway and taking a car down with it. Now, we talked to Houghton County Emergency Management earlier, and they said it's going to take tens of millions of dollars and months to repair the damages.
We've got 52 known road outages. Those aren't all individual roads. Maybe one road has a couple different outages, but that's what we're looking at now. Work is starting to get underway to do assessments on personal residences.
Between law enforcement, construction crews, and disaster relief, volunteers have been coming in from all over the Midwest. And while an assessment to judge just how bad the damages are is still being conducted, residents and business owners are left picking up the pieces.
This is total devastation how in one night things can get this wrecked. With the rain that started at 1 in the morning and 2 hours, 7 inches don't sound like a lot of rain, but the devastation is done is awful.
Now I'm here at the other side of what I was explaining earlier, where the water washed over and completely took out Sharon Avenue, spilling over and taking that car down with it. Now, law enforcement agencies are telling people to stay away from these areas. They're very dangerous. There's been people trying to take some photos, but they're being kicked out of these areas because they are so dangerous. Now, Local 3 is going to keep updates on our Facebook page and our website, upmatters.com. But until then, I'm Molly Hollebeek reporting in Houghton County for Local 3 News.
All right, very good. Thank you, Molly. Good information there. Now, here's some other good information as well. Governor Snyder today declared a state of disaster for Houghton as well as for Menominee County, and that's going to allow for National Guard deployment in these counties to help with road repairs. At michigan.gov/drive, you'll find an interactive map that displays the road closures and construction and traffic as well. Local 3's Calvin Lewis tonight tells us more about the roads and the weather that created this disaster in the Copper Country.
7 inches in less than 6 hours. That's the amount of rainfall seen in Houghton and Hancock yesterday after a severe storm swept through the area.
When these patterns set up, it is very short-term drivers in the atmosphere that caused the heavy rain to set up where they did. And the rain developed there. There wasn't a lot of steering flow to move the storms out of the Houghton area, and so it just dumped. And we saw those rainfall rates that we've never seen in a 24-hour period across upper Michigan.
Flooding has caused damage to 4 major areas on the state trunk line system, including US 41 between Chassell and Houghton, 2 closures on M26 closed at Mount Ripley and Hancock, and M203 between Hancock and Calumet.
Basically, we're in evaluation mode right now, taking a look at the major damaged areas and trying to figure out what the best fix is and what we can do to get traffic back on the roads.
Weingarten says it's impossible to give a timeline on repairs at the moment, but the weather has taken a turn for the better.
We're fortunate here, at least for the next nearly week or so, because the pattern is going to be much drier for us across the upper Great Lakes. So it's going to be a great opportunity for some recovery efforts to continue. It doesn't look like there's really any threat of rain coming, at least through the early part of next weekend. Maybe a chance by the latter part of the next weekend. There will be more rain on the horizon, but not on the immediate horizon.
Relief efforts are underway in the Keweenaw. You can find more information on how to help by visiting our website at upmatters.com. For now, reporting in the studio, Calvin Lewis, Local 3 News.
Thank you, Calvin. Here's some other very important information for those of you who maybe were not affected. The Keweenaw Community Foundation has established a disaster relief fund to help those who are affected by the flooding. Disbursement of these funds will be handled by the Board of Directors of the KCF, and input will be provided from the Houghton County Emergency Response Team. Contributions can be made by check to disaster relief or can be made online. You can look for the story on our website on how to make a contribution to this fund. Now, in other news for you tonight here from Upper Michigan, a public input meeting will be held tomorrow night in Gladstone. It's to discuss new affordable senior housing. Local 3's Corinne Griffith joins us now with more. Corinne.
Gladstone currently has 2 lower-income housing options for senior citizens, Bayview and Fairview Manors, but that may soon change. A public input meeting is being held on Tuesday, June 19th at the Gladstone Sports Park to discuss possible locations and plans for a new mixed-income senior living residence. The current plan is for a 4-story, 128-unit building costing approximately $30 million.
More public input, the more people who get out, the better it is to inform the public, places to live for their families, their grandparents. We want to make sure that we continue to have senior housing in Gladstone. The development's going to be more of a mixed income, so it's going to be available actually to just about anybody, including those who have less income coming in than that. So that's what we're looking for right now.
Current residents of Bayview and Fairview Manors will have the option of moving into the new building. Tuesday's meeting is open to the community and all public comments are welcome. Reporting in studio, I'm Corinne Griffith, Local 3 News.
All right, thank you, Corinne. The Marquette Downtown Development Authority is also looking for some public comment. It's about the future of downtown Marquette. They're working with a national marketing firm to create a new branding strategy for the area. There's a public session that's going to be held on Wednesday night at 6. It'll be at the Marquette Commons.
It's really just information gathering sessions, and also for people to give their input. We're going to have the consultants. They'll be looking at entry points. They'll be making recommendations for entry signage, where that signage should be, potentially what that signage should look like.
The goal is to have the entire downtown area more cohesive, including all areas that include 3rd Street, Barriga Avenue, and the proper downtown area itself. Still ahead for you tonight here on Local 3 News, our Money Watch report. Stay tuned for business and finance news headlines, as well as details on how the market finished the day.
And this is a much drier, much needed radar picture to look at. Any rain showers are well south of us currently, and we're going to continue with this dry radar picture through the rest of this week. Details next.
You're watching Local 3 News at 6 with Cynthia Thompson. With Tom Kippen, sponsored by Shunk Furniture of Marquette.
Probably a historic flood event we will be talking about for a long time. This discussion is not going to end here in a couple weeks, and in fact, some of us might be telling the grandkids, hey, remember the Father's Day flood of 2018, or tell people about it, because these are just, even across the United States of America, you just don't even see these rain amounts, maybe outside of a tropical system, but anywhere around the Houghton area from 6 almost up to 7 inches of rain fell in the Houghton-Hancock area. Head towards Freda, 4.5 inches of rain. Copper Harbor seeing 1 inch of rain, and that's a lot of rain even on a rainy day. And as we look at other rainfall amounts across Upper Michigan, first to our Local 3 radar network, just want to point this out. There is nothing going on across the UP currently, but as we look at some rainfall amounts, we covered the Keweenaw, but we also had heavier rain across the rest of Upper Michigan last night. As we look at some rainfall amounts, anywhere from around 1 inch or just over 1 inch for the South Central UP. Escanaba picking up 1.1 inches of rain last night, and Rapid River picking up 1.4 inches of rain into the South Central or into the north central UP we go. We're looking at anywhere from the storms last night that dropped 2 to almost 3 inches of rain. And you can see here with the MDOT center around Trinary, we picked up almost 2 inches of rain. And in the Marquette area, some of the rainfall reports, 2.1 inches of rain in the city of Marquette, and also in the city of Marquette, 2.3 inches of rain. And then into the western UP, the last thing we needed here after Friday's heavy rain, but another 1 to 2 inches of rain fell with the severe storms that came through here last night. What's ahead for tonight? We're looking at partly cloudy to mostly clear skies, lows 40s and 50s tonight. Dry weather this week. No heavy rain is in the forecast, or no rain for that matter, until Saturday. Warm afternoon temperatures, and it'll be cooler with some localized lake breezes this week developing near the shorelines of the Great Lakes. Fish and Hunt Shop marine forecast tonight, other than some kayak caution issues around Grand Marais, we're looking at pretty reasonable conditions out on the Great Lakes waters. And as we look at the 7-day forecast here, we're looking at temperatures that will be into the 70s, even in a few spots into the 80s. And then we're looking for the dry conditions to continue into next week or into the late part of the week, and then a slight rain chance for Saturday.
All right, thank you very much, Tom. Up next for you tonight here on Local 3 News, our Money Watch report. Find out why Nike is dropping a clothing line. Plus, stay tuned to find out about the trading day on Wall Street. In our Money Watch report tonight, Diane King Hall has the business news headlines and details about how much money the movie Incredibles 2 has earned.
Stocks fell at the open as trade tensions between the U.S. and China continued to weigh on investors after the Trump administration announced it is slapping tariffs on $50 billion worth of Chinese imports. China hit back with an expanded list of U.S. goods it will raise tariffs on. Nike is dropping a clothing line after the U.S. Navy says not so fast. The Navy accused the company of ripping off the U.S. Naval Academy's coat of arms, calling the similarities between its crest and the clothing logo, quote, undeniable. The logo appeared on a soccer-inspired collection debuting in conjunction with the World Cup. Video game addiction is officially being recognized as a medical condition. Starting today, gaming disorder will be listed in the World Health Organization's International Classification of Diseases. Mental health professionals are hoping an official classification will promote treatment and increase the chance that insurance will cover it. Incredibles 2 set box office records this weekend, becoming the biggest animated movie opening of all time. Incredibles 2 earned an estimated $180 million. It also set the record for the biggest PG-rated launch ever. The film knocked Ocean's 8 to a distant second. And that's your CBS Money Watch report. For more, head to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Diane King Hall.
Sports with Jake Durant is straight ahead for you tonight here on Local 3 News. The Escanaba softball team looked to make history over the weekend. That and more next in sports. First, though, we get a look at stocks of local interest and a look at today's report on precious metals.
And now, UP Sports with Jake Durant from the Bay College Sports Desk.
The Escanaba softball team got a chance to make a little history over the weekend. They look to win their first state title in school history. Their opponent, South Haven, known for their high-powered offense, they put up 14 runs in their semifinal game. Could the Eskimos finally break through? Here it is, the Division II state title game, Escanaba and South Haven. Escanaba would get on the board early. Maddie Griffin going to send one in the gap to center. One run's going to score. Eskimos go up 1-0, and that's really all super sophomore pitcher Gabby Salo would need. She struck out 13 hitters in the game, only allowed 3 hits. Unbelievable control, going outside then inside. Later in the 4th inning, Dakota Cloutier will send one deep to the right field wall. Another run's going to score. That's going to make it 3-0 Eskimos. In the 6th inning, it's now 4-0 Escanaba. Cloutier again going to hit another extra base hit. That's going to make it 5-0 Escanaba. I don't think South Haven has came across a pitcher like Salo because they couldn't get anything going. What a better way to end it than on a strikeout. The Escanaba Eskimos, your Division II state champions. Congratulations to Escanaba. World Cup play continued today. Belgium took on Panama in the 75th minute. Belgium up 2-0. Great defense by Belgium is going to lead to a breakaway. Eden Hazard going to flip it ahead to Romelu Lukaku. He gets it past the goaltender. It was all Belgium in this one. They get the 3-0 win. Sweden and South Korea, this one scoreless in the 64th minute. Sweden awarded a penalty kick after a South Korea penalty in the goaltender's box. Andreas Granqvist going to step up to take the penalty kick, and he is going to convert the Korean goaltender guessing wrong. Sweden goes up 1-0, and that would be the difference maker. This one's going to end 1-0 in Sweden's favor. We're going to finish with England and Tunisia. Harry Kane going to play hero for the Three Lions. And
coming up for you tonight, an effort to help the people who are affected by that weekend storm that created flooding in the Houghton County area. We'll tell you what initiative is already underway in Delta County. Stay tuned for that and the rest of the evening news right here on Local 3 News with James Fillmore at 11 o'clock, 10 Central. Of course, we want to know what the weather is.
And it is the best case scenario for after a major flood. We got dry weather on the way, and in fact, a lot of days of dry weather on the way as well. Lows tonight around 50 or into the 50s. There could be a couple of spots across upper Michigan that do drop into the 40s. But as we look at the extended forecast, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, all dry weather. We're looking for temperatures in the 70s, some spots in the 80s. The humidity will be low as well, and that's really going to dry us out. So the best weather scenario, we got it for flood cleanup and a slight chance of rain for the daytime on Saturday. Just a slight chance. That's it.
All right. All very good news.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Tom. For Tom and Jake and everybody else here at Local 3 News, have a great evening. Up next, CBS Evening News with Jeff Clore.